Actually, few people have enjoyed the lifespan duration of solar because of this major misunderstanding. So let me ask you something very important. It's a question that could save you millions of naira or thousands of dollars over the next decade. Why is it that some solar systems last 10, 15, even 20 years, while others, instead with exact brand and exact same capacity, start giving problems just after 2 or 3 years? The same sun hitting the roof, the same country, the same climate, but completely different outcomes. One homeowner is enjoying full power for a decade later, while other is back to the market, frustrated and looking for a new set of batteries. The truth is bitter for many, but it is one you need to swallow today. Most solar system does not fail because they are bad or they are fake. They fail because they are neglected. Most treat solar like magic. They think it's plug and play. They think once it's on the roof, it's a permanent miracle that requires zero maintenance, zero attention. Just like any other gadget, any other technological equipment you have in your house, it needs maintenance. So today I'm going to show you how to maintain your solar systems. Yes, low cost maintenance can be the secret that protects your solar investments for the long run. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to have a roadmap that ensures that your system does not just survive but thrives over the next 10 to 15 years. My name is Austin, and I call this Light Sell Solar Podcast. So, client confidentiality disclaimer. Now, to safeguard our client confidentiality, certain names and scenarios in this podcast have been modified or fictionalized. However, the educational value and core lessons remain accurate and are intended for the benefit of our audience. So the topic or the title I'm going to be talking about today is solar maintenance, how to maintain your system so that it can last long for you. So in this space, we don't just talk about excitement of installing solar or the beauty of the latest panel. We focus on the reality of owning a solar system. Our goal is to ensure that once you transition into clean energy, you will never go back to that frustration of noise generator or darkness of a failing grid. So I've spent years in the solar industry and I've seen it all. I've seen systems older than 10 years still running at 90% efficiency because the homeowner knew the rule of the game. And I've seen a brand new high-end system destroyed within months, not by lightning strike, not by manufacturing defects, but by poor maintenance habits. Solar is an investment, it's not an expense. Like any investment, it requires a bit of care to yield its best returns. That is the exact conversation that we're going to be having today. And let me share a story that happens almost every week in our line of work. A few months ago, a gentleman called me. He was angry. He said, Austin, my batteries are bad already. I only bought them 2 years ago. Solar is too expensive. At this rate, buying fuel for my generator is actually cheaper. All this rant is because of his having a little challenge. So we booked an appointment. I went to his house to check. I went to his house to investigate to know what is wrong. When I climbed his roof, I couldn't even see the blue cells of his panel. They were all covered in thick gray crust of dust and droppings of birds. So in simple words, there are, this Harmattan season where you can just look around your house. Look around your house. You see people's solar panel are gray. You get dust has fully covered everything for most people. And sometimes bird droppings also has covered it. But people will come and then they are complaining. I don't even understand what people are doing. So I left that issue on the roof. Now I went to his battery room. I saw something even worse. The battery terminals were covered with white, crusty corrosion. To make matter worse, the inverter was installed in a tiny, unventilated closet. Hmm. I looked and see, and I said, "Sir, your system is broken. It's suffocating." I almost called him, Oga, this thing you are doing is not correct. But because of his our client, I have to muster some ways to be politically correct. So he has spent millions on the hardware, but have not spent 15 minutes a month looking after it. Was blaming the technology for his own neglect. This is the hidden trap of so many solar home owners. And that is what we are going to fix today. So solar is not a generator. Here is a simple life-changing truth. A solar system is not a generator. You cannot ignore it until it breaks down. This is how people treat generator, especially here in Nigeria. You will rarely see a generator owner take a generator to a mechanic to service if the generator have not stopped working. I remember those days. The only time where we need, where we call the engineer, the only time where we remember the engineer is actually alive is when we start the gen. Brrr. We started, brrr, the gen refused to start. When we have done it like 6, 7, 8, 9 times and our shoulder is paying off, then we will say, let us out of that, out of that engineer. So it is when the system breaks down that we remember uh, that we will take it to maintenance. But that is a very poor way to even maintain your gen. That is a very poor way. Now I'm talking about solar. It is a terrible way to maintain your solar. You get. So just as I've said, with the generator, you can wait for it to stop before calling the mechanic. With solar, if you wait for it to stop, you've likely killed yourself. Or rather, you have likely killed your system. You have likely killed your most expensive component. And that component is the battery. Solar system lasts for decades when three things are cleaned, checked, and used correctly. When your battery is clean, when your panels are clean, and when your inverters are maintained. You understand? You clean them, you check them, and you make sure they are correctly used. Maintenance is not a burden. It is a thin line between wasting your money and getting the true value of your investment. Now, let's break down what exactly it means for each part of your solar system. Number one, your solar panels. They must breathe. Think of your solar panels like a window of your house. When your windows are covered in dust, light enters the room, but it is dim. You cannot see clearly. Solar panels works almost the same way. They are light eaters. If this layer is covered with dust, soot, or bird droppings, between the sun and the silicon cells, the panels cannot eat. Many people don't realize that dirt in the panels make it lose 20 to 40% of their performance, even without triggering an error message. You just notice your battery aren't getting full and you blame the battery. So how do you fix this? Cleaning your panel just once a month, depending on your area, you understand. Especially in Hamatan or once in 2 months. Clean it up. Make sure everything is working perfectly fine. When you clean it, you can restore the power you thought was lost. Now you don't need a special chemical, just clean water and soft cloth and then just squeeze it. Just ensure that it is clean. No abrasive soaps, never climb on the panels. Just simple rinse can add life and a long lifespan to your system. Now let's talk about the batteries. Treat them like storage food. If panels are the workers, then the batteries are the storage. Think of a battery like a refrigerator full of your food. If you leave the refrigerator door open all day, the motor stop working hard and eventually burn out. If you take out more food than you put in, you can eventually starve. In the solar world, the biggest killer of batteries is deep cycle discharge. If you drain your batteries to zero every single night, you are essentially starving them. Most batteries, especially lead, acid, or gel, they hate being emptied. Even lithium batteries prefer not to be stressed up to the absolute limit all the time. Although lithium batteries have their deep discharge at 80 to 90%, you cannot drain it to 95, 98, even 100% every single day. So how can you fix this? Avoid 0%. Try to keep your discharge within the manufacturer's limit. Usually 50% for gel or lead acid batteries or tubular batteries, or 80% for lithium. Number two, you must charge it full charge. Ensure your batteries get 100% full at least few times. Number three, temperature control. Batteries hate heat. If your battery room is over 35 degrees, every 8 degrees increase can kill that battery lifespan in half. Keep them in a cool and dry place. Very cool and very dry. Now the inverter, the silent workers. Your inverter is the brain and is the muscle of your system. It is working every single second that your lights are on, because it's an electronic device, generates heat. But if you tuck your inverter away in a dusty corner and close it off the cupboard without airflow, it's like asking a human to run a marathon in a winter. When there is high degree of cold, or when there is high degree of heat, the internal capacitors and fans will eventually fail from exhaustion. Now, what is the fix? Number one, ventilation. Ensure that there is at least 6 to 10 inches of clear space around your inverter. Number two, dust. Every few months, use a can of compressed air or soft brush to clean the dust from your inverter's cooling fan. The fans can't spin. The inverter will cook itself. So if the fan cannot spin, the inverter will become hot, because the inverter that is the cooling system for the fan is the cooling system for the inverter, sorry. Now, you don't need to be an engineer to do a monthly health check. Just take 5 minutes. Check connections, look at your battery terminals. If you see white powder, it's called corrosion. If so, it needs to be cleaned. Loose wire cause heat, and heat causes fire. Listen. Does the inverter sound louder than usual? If there is a grinding noise from the fan, you check it closely. To check the screen, look for any wiring or code fault errors. Sometimes, or most times, the inverters they have code errors. If you see 01 or 02 or 03, you can check the manual to see the meaning of that code. Most people ignore this until the power goes out. Now, don't be that person. Don't be that person. Now, let's clear up some common misunderstanding that leads to system failure. Number one, they say solar does not need maintenance. The truth is, nothing with moving parts like fan or technical reaction batteries that is maintenance free. Nothing. It needs light maintenance, not heavy servicing. Number two. I'm talking about the second myth now. If the lights are on, the system is fine. That is what people think. Now, what is the truth? A system can be working fine while it is dying. By the time the light go off, the system is already permanently damaged. Number three, rain cleans the panel perfectly. Yes, rain helps, but it often leaves mud pits or doesn't remove bed droppings, which can create hot spot or damage cells panel. I know, of course, it cleans. Actually, rain cleans. That is why most of the cleaning is done during Harmattan or during the winter. However, you still need to check. 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 If you want your solar to last 10, 15, 20 years, you follow these 5 clean rules. Clean the glass. Keep those panels shiny so they can catch every photon of light. Number 2, keep it cool. Airflow is the best friend of your inverter and your battery. Number 3, watch the load. Don't push your inverter to 95% capacity every single day. Leave some breathing space, abeg. Abeg. Ha. Number 4, tightening the bolt. Ensure that cable connection is very tight. Number 5, be a responsible user. Please be a responsible user. Solar is a budget. Manage your energy spending so you don't drain your batteries at night. Manage your energy. Don't overdrain your battery so that you have what you use at night. Please. If you want to power high energy draining things like your pumping machine or freezers or washing machines or cookers, those things can be done between when the sun is out. So let's say 11 a.m. to let's say 3. The rest you off it. Be a responsible user, please. So at Lysol Solar, our relationship with our client doesn't end when the last bolt is tightened. We don't end our relationship after installation. No. That's not how we do. We believe in teaching you how to own your own system. So we provide maintenance schedules and guidance because we know that happy customers is one whose system is still running a decade later. When people understand maintenance, their money works harder, their batteries last longer, and their home stays bright. So we don't just sell hardware, we sell long-term security. And you remember that frustrated customer I told you about? The one who said solar was scam. We didn't even sell him new batteries. Instead, we went an afternoon and then we clean his panels, we clear his corrosion on his terminals, and moving his inverter to a ventilated spot. We taught him how to monitor his nightly usage so he wasn't bleeding his battery cells every night. 6 months later, he called, not to complain, but to apologize. He said the system was performing like a brand new system. He didn't need to spend millions on replacement, he just needed to spend little time on care. The system didn't change, his habits changed. So if this episode has helped you realize your solar system deserves little more love, do me a favor, hit that like button. Share this video with someone who just installs solar. Let them protect their investment. Subscribe to Lysol Solar podcast. We release clarity every single week. We are here to make sure that you don't have to guess about your power again. You have maintenance questions. Is your system making a weird noise? Drop a comment. We read every single one of them and we are here to help you troubleshoot.